Hi, I'm Steve Matthes. Welcome to PulpMX Classic Commentary. And the race we've chosen is the 1990 Pontiac Supercross 125 and 250 mains. And nobody better to bring it to us than
Denny Stephenson.
Denny, thanks for doing this, man. Appreciate it.
I'm excited. I've watched some of these. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, as we talked about, this was a big year for you. 1990, Denny Stephenson, you are a factory Suzuki rider.
Yep, I got signed with Suzuki. It was kind of a funny story, too. I originally had signed with Honda. Was in a race for them, and wasn't getting bikes. Went to Bercy, rode a Honda, and got a call from Tom Arnold saying, hey, you guys might want to...
Tom Arnold's an actor. Dave Arnold,
that's it. It wasn't Roseanne's husband, no.
And he just said, you're out.
He said, no. He said, yeah, you guys might want to look for something else right now. We're having some changes or something. There are going to be some changes. They brought Bale in.
Yeah.
So he took my money and Mike Craig's money and went and hired Bale, and they didn't have a 125 program that year. And I called Pat Alexander last minute, and I think they pulled the ride out from Buell and gave it to me.
Oh, Top Fuel Buell.
Top Fuel
So
Buell.
1990 Pontiac, there you are. You're leading the points, 78 points. Now I tweeted you earlier. Karsten was an early series leader.
He was leading after Houston. Yeah, I think that was when Swerve and Fro moved over on me in a triple, and I cased it, and Craig landed on me. And yeah, Barry was leading after round one.
All right, so here we go, the 125 main event, 1990, and some heavy hitters in here. Gate drops, guys are off, and do you remember this race?
I do. I started out on the parade lap.
I
went over this double. We're going to see
number 27, by the way. Yeah,
over there in the pink, and that looked like a Crayola box explosion.
There you are, looking good.
Fall right there on the parade lap. I went to do this double before the tunnel, and was going to do like a little whipper, for the fans, and my gas was off.
Yeah.
And dove through the handlebars on the parade lap.
On the parade lap.
Yeah.
And then first lap going up peristyle or whatever they call that back then.
Peristyle, I crashed or up in the stands. So basically it did not start well for me this night.
Right, and there's a chaos even behind you, and you're the points leader, so this is a big deal. 1990 Suzuki, what do you make in a salary? What
18 grand was my salary, and my win bonuses were $2,500.
$2,500 to win a Supercross.
Yep.
But coming into the season, were you favored? Like, I remember as a kid, you dominated this year for the most part, and I thought as a kid, I remember it kind of coming from out of nowhere. Or no?
I rode Supercross in '88 and got a 5th, and then '89 I got a 3rd.
Oh,
and
it was like a progression thing.
Yeah, and everybody was pretty much like Bradshaw had moved out, LaRocca had moved out. So I was kind of like the next guy, I guess.
Right.
Clearly, I guess Suzuki, gave me a ride.
Right.
So I had full intentions of winning. Yeah.
If you had told me, did Jason Langford ever lead a Supercross race main event, I would have told you no way.
It's crazy the stuff you remember. Some of these
names.
Here he
is leading.
Out front, there's James Eichel right here. I think he's about to crash. Yep. And there's Jonesy.
Okay,
it's just double right after this corner here. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
lap. Where your gas was.
That's my gas went off.
Good job, Don. Your dad.
Yeah. I don't ever turn my gas off. They're back in the picture now.
So yeah, Langford. I don't know much about him. I just know he was the guy that crashed in that. Wasn't he the guy that in that famous crash in the peristyle?
That's Jason Upshaw.
Oh, Upshaw. Okay, I got it mixed up.
Jason, I raced with him on mini bikes. He was a really fast mini rider from Texas. As I was telling you earlier, Scott Brown was a fast mini rider back then too, and his dad believed that Jason was much older than he actually was. I think because he had a beard and basically drove the races himself. So he was calling all the hospitals in Texas trying to find a birth certificate.
In the amateur days.
In the amateur days, yeah. He was on mini bikes.
Trying to find a birth certificate. That's awesome.
I think he just developed it for everyone else.
Right. Who are your main guys in the title chase this year? Like, what round is this? First of all, do you remember?
I'm trying to. With 78 points.
Maybe third or fourth?
Fourth round.
Fourth round?
So I got third. I got 18th the first round.
Bear Dog winning.
Bear Dog was leading the points, and then I won the next 3. So that would have gave me 78.
So who are your main guys?
Well, Jonesy
51
was pretty much the main guy because he'd gotten second in like '88, I think, to the hoop. And then Bueller was kind of my teammate on Suzuki.
Yep.
And basically, a lot of the talent was out west that year. Let's be honest.
Out west, 1990, Ty Davis, McGrath, Craig.
I still to this day think Ty Davis probably won probably the most talented field ever. McGrath, Emig, Craig, Budman, Phil Lawrence. It was
everybody in '90.
It was stacked.
Yeah.
And he went
an
off-road racer.
Don't sell yourself short here.
Hey, well, beat them every once in a while.
So you fell here, and you're working your way through the pack. It's crazy to watch these old races, and you're a fan today, and you watch all the races today. I mean, you guys didn't jump a lot of stuff, like
a lot of rolling.
Yeah, because if you weren't in the power band in the right gear, if something happened, you couldn't do it.
No, and the triples were huge, and they're really not much of a landing. So you just basically flatland those things.
Right.
And a real 125 was hard, a little bit harder to ride, I think, than what these guys on just different than a 2DF.
Yeah.
These 2DFs can stop in a corner and jump something.
Color just went out. I don't know what happened there.
Maybe.
Maybe Don Stephenson's in charge of the color.
He might be running this, yeah.
Mike Jones, I don't know what kind of gear that is, but it's hideous.
Mike Jones is the first time I ever saw a Red Bull helmet. He used to go to Europe and race a lot. And they sponsored him. And it's a Swiss company, right? Isn't Red Bull Swiss?
No, Austria.
You'd go there and race. And he came back with a Red Bull helmet one year.
Did he come back with his gear, probably, perhaps?
I don't know. He was
known to wear already in second.
Second, yeah. That my bike was so good that year. Every time I lined up, I was pretty much knew that it was going to go well because the bike was pretty sick.
Yeah.
It was fast, although I did case that. But, yeah, look at that color explosion. Pink and teal.
Yeah, he's taking it through the crash right here.
Yeah.
Who's 915?
That's Cliff Palmer.
Oh.
That's Palmer. I'm not sure. Oh, that's Talon Volin.
Oh, so you nailed
Talon
Volin.
was fast. It's pretty fast that year, too.
Yeah.
Yep.
And how much you make from MSR?
I think $4,800. I think was that year.
This just makes me laugh. You were an agent for a number of years, so
I went through Trey and Josh's contracts. I just handled them.
Yeah.
They were Factory Connection contracts, and I kind of compared what I made with what they were making.
Yeah.
I would have made like $1.5 million that year.
Really?
Yeah, I would have made a lot of money.
No, you being serious?
Yeah.
You would have made $1.5 million.
I was like basically add a zero behind what I made 150 that year, I think.
Okay.
And you could have just added a zero behind everything.
Yeah. So if you took their bonuses in 1990.
We made about $1.5 million.
Million and a half.
I was born.
And then you jumped out a window.
Yeah.
Okay, well here's an interesting thing. Look at that, Jones.
Yeah, Jonesy. Yeah. I had knocked Jones down coming through the pack the weekend before, and at the Cotton Bowl. That was the only year I think they ever raced at the Cotton Bowl, and I had knocked him down. And unbeknownst to me, I didn't even remember doing it. So when I came up on him, I was, I didn't really expect anything. He started just plowing me and moving all over. And
ooh, look at that. You guys are going at it.
Yeah.
Look at that. I mean, he was going for it.
And then I think I couldn't get away from him here.
The first time I remember Mike Jones, I always thought he was old, and then he kept racing and racing and racing.
He's big too. He's a big guy. I was probably about 130 pounds soaking wet back then.
Yeah.
And so at this point I'm just like, oh crap, I better stay the hell away from him. I better get by him clean because he could probably just push me over.
Look at this.
Yeah.
Little chicken Larry Ward deal.
Yep. I learned from the best.
And see there, you passed him because you downsided the finish.
Yeah, it was pretty, one of those difficult things.
He got you back there.
Yeah, so then I just was scared of him. Like I just got to get by him. We're basically just riding around.
This is a good race though. This is really good. If you were a fan, you'd be.
Yeah,
awesome.
it's a good. One of my more memorable ones. To be able to crash and be dead last and still catch up and have a shot to win the thing.
Year before this, you were Cowie. You and Chris Coleman. I just remember were two of the guys that kind of came out of nowhere for me, just a kid from Canada. But did Cowie not want to keep you? Did no room for you?
They went with Fro. It was the year Fro was a Cowie rider. Both Team Green guys.
Yep.
And Fro got the ride that year. Mm-hmm. Yep.
So then the Honda thing, and then of course the Suzuki, which you explained. There you go. You get by him.
Oh, that was a good one there.
Look at that.
Yeah, he plowed me good. I think he blows his radiator there. Yeah, now it's all the fluid. I think I broke the radiator with my back. And I've had enough now. It's time to go now. It's time to go. I've had enough.
Do you know how hard you got to hit somebody to break a radiator?
He crushed me pretty good there.
Your dad was probably freaking out at this point.
He was yelling and screaming.
Yeah.
Steve Childress, he was a fast one too.
I don't know much about Steve Childress, that's for sure.
No, I think he's from New Jersey maybe.
I like to ask this a lot of guys, and here we go with a commercial. We'll just talk through it. Oh, there we go. We're back. White flag. Oh,
it's a quick race.
Seems like they cut some laps out there somewhere. Oh, you've already got it.
I've got this thing wrapped up. Clearly, I'm already saluting the stands.
Nice looking bike. I like these 90 RMs.
They were good. I was so fast, dude. Seriously. Mm-hmm. But he broke my shoulder pads, I think, on the side from the strap.
Oh, yeah. You see the strap?
Yep. Yeah, these were a good year.
I like to ask these guys, where did you practice Supercross?
Which is really odd. In Suzuki's test track was out at Adelanto. It was a sand track. Mm-hmm. So sand, the jumps would actually disappear. They get really bad, big ruts.
Yeah.
My freestyle moves were really bad.
Clearly.
They were, I owned the one-hander. There was no chance of me ever doing I did a cross-up once when I was on a mini bike qualifier for Loretta Lynn's at Byron, Illinois. It was a muddy day, but it was dried out. It was like one single line around the whole track. And I did kind of whip it off one, cross up, kind of whip the bike off one to finish my jump, like on a white flag lap, and crashed.
Okay.
Got stuck in the mud. I'm getting beat by Junior Jackson. And I decided at that point in time, I'm not really going to do many more cross-ups.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
And also, too, you rode – here you come up to the checkers there. Danny
There's that one-hander.
Nice comeback.
Yeah.
Yeah, look a lot like the other one-hander.
Like the other 10, I think I did that lap.
And Jones gets second with – I don't know what kind of gear that is.
I think that's Faraci.
Faraci? Yeah.
He always wore some weird stuff.
There's
old Don, my dad.
Oh,
yep.
You guys are. Would you remember this conversation?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I don't think I said anything too mean to him.
You
My
just
pants were falling down. I have no butt, so my pants were always falling down.
like, please don't beat me up.
Yeah.
Please don't beat me up.
Let's not take this back to the parking lot.
Eichel with a fifth.
Guy was on fire.
Who knew?
Yeah, this got a little silly. Kidney belts. I don't think anyone wears kidney belts these days either.
Yeah. MSR always had your back in the fact that when you were even a 3-digit Cali guy, you had full-page ads.
They were awesome.
Like, they loved you.
The first time I got a ride with them or sponsored was on mini bikes, and Bob Brown.
You were with them that long?
Yeah, I was with them as a kid, and they took me through the warehouse with a grocery cart. I'm like a 13-year-old kid, dude. That's probably the greatest things I'll ever have happen.
It doesn't get any better than that.
Yeah, they're just throwing stuff in a grocery cart.
Right.
Yeah, but their gear was kind of weird. It was like those pants are like vinyl, and they would burn. And I'd have a big hole in my leg with a big burn mark.
13-point lead, so you needed that win because of that first round.
Yeah, I was started in a hole right off the bat.
Yeah. And
I could never get the damn champagne open either. Clearly, that's not a problem now.
why are you on the far right either? You won the race. You should be in the middle.
Yeah, there was no one there to tell me. Yeah, obviously Jones took that. See, he's always trying to steal my limelight, even on the podium.
Yeah, you were the guy this year, no doubt about it. And what'd you win overall? How many did you win?
I won 8 of 11 that year.
Which is big back then. Nobody won 8 out of 11.
I had a record. I didn't even know I had
did?
a record
Yeah.
until Ricky beat it when he went undefeated that year.
You were the previous. Oh.
I had 8 most wins in a season, but
I really wish they brought back the East-West more than just Vegas.
yeah,
That was cool.
It was very cool.
Yeah.
The first one was Houston, and I crashed out of that one. The second one was Dallas, which was right before this
Where you
one.
took Jonesy out
and
by
I
accident,
won that one. I came to the pack and won it, and then the last one was Oklahoma City, and I crashed again.
Here's a list of guys that rode the KTM 50 race or PW 50
Eric
race.
McClear.
Yeah.
Nuclear McClear.
Oh, is that what they called him?
Yeah.
Nuclear McClear.
Nuclear McClear.
He needed a better name.
Yeah. Well,
So
look at that
250s.
sweet mullet.
Hey, so you were teammates with Lord, Cooper, two of those guys we just saw there.
Yep.
A big team that year. Huge team.
I think
Was
they
that Heben?
had like 15 guys
Was
or
that
something.
Heben, manager?
I think it was Ron. Yeah, it was Ron.
Tons of guys. Look at Chicken leading the points. This was a really good 250 season, the 1990 season.
Duke got all the names, man. This was the year that, too, it was Atlanta was that year.
Yep.
When that was my first win. I sat in the stands watching that race. I was just like, that thing was incredible.
And here we go with the 250 main event from 1990.
Not quite a monster girl.
And gate drops right there. Also, RJ, can he come back from his wrist injury? You know, that was like.
Yep. He was wearing that godforsaken JT bad boy gear.
Yep. Osho with, the old guard, as you would call it.
Yep. Bradshaw was a bad man.
Were you buddies with O'Mara, Johnson, Ward? You were a new kid, but.
Yeah, that was the year we, at Hangtown, we were leaving the track, me and Tishner and Budman, and O'Mara and Chicken and Wardy were all behind us in a rental car and rammed Ronnie's car and broke out his taillights. So we went back and we found they're going back to the hotel to clean up for our dealer signing, and we found their car. We went to the hotel. We crapped in bags, and then smeared it all over their car on the windows and under the door handles.
Good times.
Yeah. So then they all came out in their dress whites, ready to go to the autograph signing with poop on their car. So
no better way to endear yourself.
Well, we came back the next morning. We came out. Our car, they had taken off all 4 of our tires, our wheels. They were just sitting on it, and they had put all the lug nuts in one of the dust caps and returned the favor on the lug nuts.
On you guys.
So we were out there with
Bradshaw won the East title a year before you did, and now he's a 250 guy. Bad dude back in.
He was unbelievable.
Did you get along with him?
I know Damon. My first year racing Ponca City, Anime was 1982, and I rode the 7-11 class against Damon. And he was 8, and as he turned pro, he was the kind of guy that had to hate everybody.
Yeah.
So he wasn't real friendly, real talkative. He didn't like chicken because Chicken was a California guy. He's the East Coast guy.
And you were bros with chicken.
And I was bros with chicken. Yeah.
So you didn't get along.
Didn't really. I just didn't even really talk to him. I don't think Damon really talked to anybody.
Right. Look at O'Mara sticking it in there. I don't remember O'Mara riding that good this year, but it's kind of near the end,
Yeah, Stanton was a bad man.
So did these guys sort of respect you? You were the up and coming kid. You were winning. I mean, was it?
Yeah, I remember there was one race that we'd won, and I don't think we were acting like it was that big a deal or something. And I remember Johnson kind of telling my dad and me, "Hey, celebrate every win like it's your last because it might be." You know?
Oh yeah.
And which made sense, obviously.
Right. Yeah.
And I was a huge fan of him.
He knew that. RJ knew that.
Yeah, exactly.
And then how was Cooper as a teammate? Tishner?
Cooper was great, man. He was just such an enthusiast. He just loved riding and racing. He was always happy.
He was. I actually made a joke a couple weeks ago because I watched 1990 Atlanta for a column, and the guy's in the lead 3 times. Okay, loses it 3 times, gets past on the last lap, comes over the finish in second, and acts like he won the thing.
Yeah, he was just the happiest man on the planet.
You're like, hey, guy, you just blew the race 3 times.
Right, you fell, you killed it. Who kills it? No one kills the bike. We used to stay at his house all the time because he used to have a supercross track there, so we'd ride there. From the time...
Did he have Cooperland then? Was that Cooperland or was
no,
that before that?
No, it was before then. Okay. It was just, he was like an outdoor track and it wasn't sandy. And but from the time you'd be there to the time you'd leave, who just went down there? Cooper.
Oh, speak of the devil.
Throwing it away. He did like to crash a lot,
Probably
too.
one of the fastest guys that never win a supercross race. Lamson, Cooper.
Yep. But we would be on something with 2 wheels the entire time.
Yeah.
We'd be riding trials bikes. We'd be riding moto. We'd be riding bicycles. I mean, he just had to be on the go at all times.
Yeah, and he was a teammate, MSR teammate.
Yep.
So Stanton was the man back then, obviously. Sort of a self-made guy, not a huge lot of natural talent. But how did you become friends with Chicken? Just from amateur stuff?
My family were friends with his family, and so they invited. We went out to race at Golden State and stuff. They're like, hey, you can just stay with us, at the house. So I didn't even really know Chicken.
Yeah.
And I don't think he liked me too much at first, but because I'm just a skinny, dorky kid from Nebraska.
No, Omaha, yeah. And he was SoCal, dude.
It's like, basically, Mom and Dad, why you made me hang out with this kid? And but over the years, we became real close. He was like kind of a big brother.
Now this year, 1990, Chicken led as we saw, he was leading the points the whole time.
Yeah, we were.
What do you
stoked,
remember about
man.
that? Like, what do you?
He was excited, man. I mean, we had this plan. We were going to Hawaii after he won his title and I won my title. And
he would have been first year 250 class.
He was a rookie as well.
Right.
Yep. And he was just so consistent. I think was his big thing.
Right.
I don't think he was really the fastest guy there, but he was consistent. He was always up in the top 3 or 4. And back then guys didn't win 10 races a year.
Yeah, no.
It was pretty rare. Maybe a guy won 2 or 3 and was still in the points hunt the whole time.
Right. This is a good race here. Look at this, 6-time and Damon going at it. Damon won the first 3 races, I think, and then hurt his ankle. So.
He cased it at San Diego. Yeah.
Right. Did you do any 250s this year?
I did, I think.
Yeah?
I didn't ride a 250 that well for some reason. It didn't translate for me.
Right.
Like I think I raced Anaheim and didn't even qualify for the main event.
It was weird though, like different time. Back then, they were like, whatever, kid, you're our number one hope. But ride 250s. Nowadays, it's like, oh God, saran wrap them and
Right.
Back then, it was like, go ahead,
go ride whatever you want to do. Yeah, I mean, we started out the season on a 250 even.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think I might have rode 4 or 5 of them this year.
Yeah, this is a good race. I haven't seen this one in a while.
Yeah, I don't remember the 250 main being that good.
You had some trophy girl or something.
Probably already back to the hotel room.
Yeah, just starting the party.
Right.
And then you and Chicken were buddies, and he led the series. Damn near won it till the end. Do you think though, like, Chicken kind of has a rep for partying a little bit and maybe not taking his career seriously? Was it like that back then in this year, or was it still?
Yeah, he was training with Jeff Spencer, but we were still chasing girls a lot,
Okay.
And drinking some beer every once in a while.
So it wasn't totally serious Matthes even at this point.
No, but he was more serious this year than he obviously was later in his career.
Yeah, right.
Because Spencer kept him pretty fit, and he trained
Yeah.
quite a bit. We rode a lot together. I rode the Cowie track one day on my Suzuki. He got in trouble for that.
Oh, did he? Yeah.
Yeah, because someone ratted out that there was a yellow bike on the Cowie track, so they can see it from the interstate. Obviously.
Same position, same place it is in now.
Yep,
yeah.
exact same place.
Look at these two going at it. Did you have much interaction with Stanton? I imagine not.
Nope, didn't really know Jeff.
No. And do you feel like maybe hanging out with Chicken was a bad thing?
I probably should have hung out with Stanton more. We should have gone to Michigan instead of California. Maybe
You had the wrong Jeff.
Yeah, wrong. But I remember the first time I'd hung out with Wardy and those guys, and that was, I was such a fan.
Yeah,
that was a problem.
Even today, you're a fan.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of this whole. I think that was my problem when I moved up to 250 classes. I was still looking at their jerseys. Who I was racing with.
Yeah. This is a great race. Look at this Bradshaw. Man, he was like, I remember, as a fan myself in Canada, to see a 125K just come up and work these dudes was a big deal.
Well, like that. There's Bale and I forgot about this.
Yeah, I remember. I've seen the highlights.
Down he goes again. Little helmet tackle.
J&B, nobody liked J&B, right?
No one liked J&B.
No one liked J&B.
He would be over at Cooper. He'd stay at Cooper sometimes. He was super. I got along with him pretty well. He was just real quiet.
Yeah.
Just watching the guy ride a bike was always pretty amazing. What he could do.
What was he doing at Cooper's? I don't get it.
I don't remember either exactly. Maybe.
How did the French Honda guy end up at Cooper's?
Cooper rode it for Honda.
Oh, that's true.
The year before.
Yep.
So I think they were friends.
Okay.
And I think he just stayed down there. Maybe it was like the week before the Supercross at Oklahoma. You think Dungey would do that today?
Yeah, no chance.
No
chance.
What about this? Would Villopoto do that to Dungey?
What about that? I don't know what Chicken's doing, but I guess he's just angry.
Yeah.
Chicken always wore a full chest protector too. Always.
His dad made him pretty much.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He wouldn't. His dad would not let him not wear a chest protector.
Yeah. I kind of want to maybe do it. I've never done a podcast with Chicken. I've never really spoken to Chicken. I don't feel like it would be that exciting. He seems a little out there.
I haven't seen him forever. I don't. I guess he still sometimes shows up out at.
Yeah, he tried to qualify for Loretta's.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, I didn't make it though.
Oh, really?
Didn't make it. Yeah.
I didn't know.
Do you think did you have a falling out or no? Like if you saw him tomorrow, you guys would be bros.
Oh, we'd get along. Yeah, I think the last time I
Yeah.
seen him actually was at Laguna Seca. I was there for the road race, obviously, and he was there, and we hung out.
Okay.
I actually hung out with him and Bradshaw.
Oh yeah.
At the bar, the three of us hanging out. I can't believe I'm hanging out with Bradshaw and Chicken right now. They're not going to fight each other.
Yeah. Well, maybe they were doing that grudge race.
What's amazing after all the years that people can actually put away some hateful feelings. They hated each other back then.
O'Mara, Kudrowski, any interactions?
I raced with Kudrowski in amateur days.
Okay.
So I knew Mike, but he was obviously real quiet.
Uh-huh.
But and then LaRocco, we were
What about
teammates.
LaRocco?
We
Your
were
teammates?
teammates, and I grew up racing mini bikes against him.
But he didn't say nothing.
Real quiet.
Yeah. Mike didn't say much.
He was busy training. Who had time to talk? He was running and working out.
Again,
Yeah.
another guy you could have latched onto.
Should have maybe latched on him a little bit more.
I felt like
Keith Bowen, number 24 right there. Yeah.
definitely exhausted right now.
He's done. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've heard some crazy stories about old Keith as well.
One guy I felt got royally screwed, and I need to devote a call into this at one point. I feel he got royally screwed by the motocross industry. Tishner. He was obviously won a 125 title, finished won some nationals, finished I think this year fourth in the points in the Supercross or fifth, third in the nationals, 250 nationals. Then you guys didn't have a 500, so then whatever. And then he was done. Never got another chance.
He went to Japan.
Yeah,
He went to Japan.
But before that, he rode a tough bike.
Yeah, tough Suzuki.
And he won a race, I think, and he got third in the points at 125 nationals. Just never got another shot.
I think it comes from. I think he had a little bit of a. I hung out with Ronnie. Ronnie and I were real close.
Yep.
Budman.
He had a bad rap.
I think he liked to chase the girls too. I think we kind of all hung out together. But I remember the first time I stayed at Ronnie's house in Florida, or I was going to stay. I thought it was going to be this big house, huge factory, right? I'm thinking it was a trailer behind his dad's shop.
Yeah, I heard the trailer story. Yeah,
Yeah.
just lived in a trailer.
Yeah.
But I always felt like Ron was really talented, very talented, and just never, And like, let's face it, you at Suzuki here, your 125 was pretty good, like you said, but on a 250 was not on the level of a Honda, Yamaha, or Cowie.
The Suzuki 250 was not real good back then. No,
Right.
Basically we tested in the sands at Adelanto. Like 91's obviously next year I ride 250, and we basically had a setup that you did it at the first before the season started, and that's what you had all year.
Yeah.
Like there was no
No
testing.
development, no nothing.
No,
yeah.
no, definitely not. Oh,
Gotcha.
see, stole my one-hander
He
move.
did. He
Yeah.
did. Good race for Damon coming through the pack.
Oh, even Jeff throws a one-hander,
And this is
too.
Pontiac, so that was extra. Like
That's his home race right here.
exactly.
There's the hoop.
Was he on? Was he? No, he wasn't.
See, he got screwed too. He won the title,
88.
factory rider.
Yep.
And then I think they dumped him.
You know, one year I wrote a column about how he got lucky to win his title because LaRocco missed a bunch of races.
Right.
LaRocco would have won. He himself sent me a very angry email.
Did he really? Todd did?
Yes. Todd was not how there he goes. Damon with the winner.
whipped it.
Todd was not happy that I said he got lucky to win that title. And maybe I shouldn't have wrote that, but
Yeah,
who knew that Todd DeHoop read the internet?
Yeah, I remember that last race. Him and Jones went down that last race, and
Yeah.
when he won that.
But when you look at the points, LaRocco won 3 races and then missed 2. You know, so it didn't.
Right. I remember,
Every race he was in,
I did read that story.
You did?
Yeah, I did read it.
Okay.
I read your stuff.
So anyways, yeah, here we go. Chicken 8th. Probably his worst races here at this point. Tishner 6th.
Yeah,
What about
he
Big
lost.
Bird? How's Big Bird? He was talkative.
He had a sweet mullet. Listen to this accent. Yeah,
How about that hat on?
Well, that's right. I remember having a picture. I'm 18 or 19, standing in front of a cigarette sign and a beer sign.
Yeah, exactly. What is Stanton doing? Pull your hat down.
Dude, that's how we ran him back then, pretty much.
No, you didn't run him like that.
Ran real high with the hair poofed out underneath.
Oh, man. Well, hey, that's been the 1990 Pontiac Supercross 125 at 250 Main. Here with Denny Stephenson, the winner of the race and the eventual champion that year. Thanks for doing this, man. I appreciate it.
No problem. I've always wanted to do one. Glad to have it.
All right. See ya.